Hey guys, Mixed Media Girl here. So Mother's Day is coming up and a great project is to make a beautiful vase. So we're going to go ahead and acrylic pour over this vase. For this project, I am using Artist Loft Ready Mixed Pouring Paint. You can get this at Michael's. Artist Loft is a Michael's brand. Or you can mix your own pouring paint or use a different pre-mixed pouring paint. I just felt like using this today. It holds lines beautifully and it dries really glossy. So I'm starting with white, using some red there, some yellow. I'm going for kind of more spring-like colors, but I've been using a lot of pink recently, so I wanted to get back into using a little bit of blues actually. And if you haven't used the Artist Loft Ready Mix Pouring Paints before, they're a little bit on the thicker side. So I think they work quite well for vases. Underneath here I have an 11 by 14 canvas, which takes a lot of paint. So I'm often asked how I determine how much paint I put on the vase. I always have a canvas underneath. I always do a 2-for-1 project. So I just use the amount of paint needed for the canvas, and that covers both. So, and to figure out the amount of paint needed for the canvas, I multiply the sides. This is 11 by 14, so 11 times 14, and then I divide that by 16, and that gives me the amount of ounces needed. Now this bowl that I'm using, which is a silicone bowl, a lowly vase silicone bowl, it only fits 10 ounces, and that should be right around the amount needed for this canvas. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and place this in the middle. I do have this up on a cup, which if you've ever done vases before, you probably learned quickly, if you set it right on the canvas, that you have no way to take it off of the canvas when you're ready. So the cup enables it to be moved once you're ready. There are a lot of ways you can pour the paint on here. I'm gonna kind of go in a bit of a circle. One really important thing when doing vases is remember you're putting enough paint in there for the whole canvas. So whatever colors you put in the cup first, like the first ones, are going to be the ones that end up on your vase. Okay? So if you want, you know, yellow on your vase, put that in first. Otherwise, it'll just all go onto your canvas. So like you can probably see, I'm not going to end up with really a ton of blue on here, and the green I had is running off, and just the first colors are going on here. I'm going to bring you down here just so you can see kind of a side view. Look how awesome that is. Okay. Now if you're unhappy with the colors that end up on here, you can always refill your bowl and just pour again. I actually really like this, so I'm going to leave it. I do want to point out one other thing. You can probably see here the paint's kind of like shooting, and that's because this is a thicker, heavier paint. So as it's dripping kind of violently. So it's psh. So this paint creates even a bit of a different reaction than other pouring paints, even you know, my own pouring paints or other pre-mixed pouring paints. This paint always comes out a little bit differently. So I'm going to go ahead and let this sit and drain for about 2 minutes, and then we'll come back and we'll do the canvas. All right, I let this drip down for probably 2 to 3 minutes. So I'm going to move this to the side. I'm going to carefully pick up the cup here. Now, even if you do accidentally touch the bottom of your canvas a little bit, it's not the end of the world because the paint's going to keep moving, so it'll cover up any of those spots. So now we're going to go ahead and tilt our canvas and take a look at these crazy designs that are made by doing this. So I, generally speaking, like to let that hole kind of fill in a little bit. That will affect the design. So you can either let it fill in completely and then that won't cause the paint to move around it, or you can tilt when that circle is still there and you'll get just a little bit of a different pattern because it will basically pour around that hole, if you get what I mean. So I'm just gonna do it now. when it's not quite fully full. I'll just change up the pattern there just a little bit, which I'm okay with. All right. And hopefully I used enough paint for this. I haven't used an 11 by 14 canvas in a little while. Been using a lot of 10 by 10 canvases. I don't know why, it's just my favorite size. Okay, there we go. This is so unusual. The patterns on this are just awesome. So at this point, I'm gonna let these sit here for probably a couple hours. The vase is gonna move just a little bit more, and then I will bring you in for a close-up on both. All right, we're back. It's actually been about 4 hours. So here's the canvas. I think this looks awesome. Totally crazy. Some really interesting designs on this one, but I really like it. And I think it looks good from a few different angles. So here's the vase, which actually came out a lot more red, white, and blue than I intended. But ironically, we have some patriotic holidays coming up. So I guess it's pretty fitting actually, but I really, really like this. I think it's gorgeous. The lines are just so beautiful. So guys, hope you enjoyed this video. And just as a note, I seal my vases with resin. So I'll let this dry generally for about a week and then seal with resin. So feel free to use this project to make your mother something awesome for Mother's Day. And I'll see you all next time.